October 1st, folks. October 1st. It's time to get spooktacular about it on our 10th anniversary. Yes, 10 years, folks. And it all started 10 Octobers ago when we were at New York Comic Con having a conversation about the fact that we could do this for ourselves, and here we are.
Best decision you ever made, Raphael.
Yeah, it really was.
Has been fantastic. I would not change the experience for anything. Of course, we have started off the whole giveaway for the Whamstand beautiful wireless mic case because this just makes your wireless mic look so professional. Wham. I put up the video out there so people can go check it out. You know what? I'll share the one on Facebook. Hold on. That way you guys can see what I'm talking about. And it kind of makes it easier for you guys if you guys want to nominate somebody on this video. You can do that right now. Here we go.
Oh, I just came up with a super cool idea. Thank you.
Bitten Apple TV's 10th anniversary. That's right. October 10th anniversary. Bitten Apple TV. And you are there for the whole thing. And of course, we got a special giveaway going on with Whamstand. That's right. I said Whamstand. And of course, we are giving away this beautiful mic case for, of course, the wireless mic, giving you a whole sophisticated feel when you do your interviews. And of course, all you need to do is nominate your favorite podcast. That's right. Nominate your favorite podcast right below in the comment section and let us know or let them know that you appreciate them and you want them to win the Whamstand. That's right, folks, the Whamstand. Give them a little bit of wham in their stand. Like what I did there. Of course, this beautiful mic is amazing. I love the fact that it gives me this whole other look, especially when I'm at conventions giving interviews and such. And of course, it really stands out. It shows off your whamblem, because it could be your whamblem sticking off here instead of the Whamstand whamblem. So all you have to do is nominate your favorite podcast. Tag them in the comment section down below. And of course, we will spin the wheel and see who wins. And on top of that, I am dying to give away some beautiful Whamstand stuff. So what of you lucky nominators will be thrown onto the wheel and you will win something from Whamstand. That's right. Everybody wins. Well, selected people who win on the wheel. But you get what I'm saying. That's right. Bitten Apple TV, 10th anniversary. Now, go nominate below. Take a bite out of the apple. Well, yabba dabba do. It's yabba dabba 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 do.
Oh, it's such good energy in that video. I love it.
Where did you get a Fred Flintstone shirt? That's what I want to know.
That's so
oh
good.
my god, that shirt was so amazing, and I put it on, and I started to do the video, and I was like, oh, this looks great on the video.
I want to know how many takes it took you to actually do that.
It took a bit.
First take.
I find now, and I've been having trouble making videos recently, so it was interesting to get it done because I had tried to do this before and it just didn't work out. But I sat down and I said, you know what I need to do is just do the video and not worry about it. So I put on the phone and I let it go. I let it go all the way through. So it was just the video recording, and I was like, I'll just edit this on the way out.
Nice.
And if you guys are paying attention, each location, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, there's differences in the videos.
I noticed because I saw the Instagram one because I'm tagged in that.
Mm-hmm.
So this one I know it was a little. This had to be the Facebook version.
Yeah.
Because it was a little different. Yeah.
And
cool.
each one, because I love doing that. I remember when I was doing my Writ and Rich show, and we were doing the recorded show. I would change the background, every episode, and because some geek out there is gonna be like, wait a minute, in episode 45, now, that thing was there instead of there. So I'm like, yeah, I'll have some fun with it, Like I have to say, like, and I was gonna do a video about this, because I got to a point where I just didn't want to do any videos, didn't want to do any TikToks, didn't want to do anything, and I was like, okay, this is not a good place to be at, and it took me a while to realize that I was in the middle of one of my depressions, so I was like, oh. But it took me a while to realize it because I just couldn't put my head together on what was going on. And I was like, okay, we'll just keep working through this.
So when you hit one of those, what do you do to kind of boop yourself out, or do you ride it through? Like, what helps you?
I keep moving forward. I just keep going. What happens is that people decide that they're going to stop doing the stuff they like. And I'm like, no, keep doing the stuff you like. But, I don't get any enjoyment out of it, Ralph. I'm like, well, the whole thing is that you enjoy this. You know that this is something that makes you happy. You know this is something that does something for you. So, the act of just continuing to do it because, you're in the middle of doing something that you already know you enjoy, it's going to bring some kind of happiness to you, or it's going to bring something to you. It's not something you hate doing. So,
well, I think you got to walk away from it for a bit, just to clear your mind.
Like a mental break or something, just to kind of collect your thoughts and
stuff. That is a good idea. For me, it doesn't work because if I get stuck in my head, it's a bad place to be.
It's
a really bad place to be stuck in.
Here than here.
Yeah, but we all like to write, right? So we all have that, like when you're trying to put together a comic or a book or whatever, right? I mean, everybody's gonna, like, there's 4 of us. We could get 20 people, and they'll have 20 different things that they do. When, like, the ideas aren't like what you want it to come out is not coming out, or on the keyboard, or however you're making something. So what I usually do, for me, doesn't exactly work for everybody else. I always listen to music, right? My bands are, Linkin Park. I could go from Linkin Park to Eminem to whatever. Listen to Les Mis, So but I'm very diverse, right? With different musics and stuff like that. So I usually put on iHeartRadio, right? But if sometimes the ideas aren't exactly coming, then I'm like, all right, gotta call it quits. It's not coming. I don't like the ideas branching. Whether I'm trying to form a scene in a book and put that, or if I'm doing some type of dialogue or scenes or character, whatever it might be. I'm like, all right, and I don't feel it. All right, tomorrow's another day. Just leave it at that. Because I don't want the ideas that I really envision are not coming out. And that's where people could see the lapses in the story, right? So when you're building content, when you're writing, you want to have those powerful ideas and not be forcing something. That's just my opinion. That's how I go about it anyway.
Well, when it comes to that kind of stuff, sometimes you have to walk away. There's times when in the middle of the creative process, you get to a certain frustration point where you have to sit there and go, I need to walk away from this, because if I don't walk away from this, it's going to be bad for the creative thing.
Side, 100%.
Well, that's one of the benefits of being a sole creator, because I've got so much to do that if I get stuck with something, I just drop it and do something else.
Well, yeah, Paul being the sole creator, me being the sole creator of the Dark Legend, if we don't do it, it won't get done. And we get no choice.
There's like what I'm saying, Frank, is like, if I get stuck programming, I said, that's it. Time to do some social media. Oh, that's it. Time to do some marketing. Oh, that's it.
I gotta say, like, speaking of the videos, I wasn't able to do the videos, but I was still doing Bitten Apple stuff, because at this point I'm Bitten Apple TV, and if I'm not doing something, Bitten Apple TV is not happening.
Yeah, but we always see you doing stuff. I mean, when I talk to you or text you, like, you're always doing something. Hey, Frank,
definitely.
Back to you when I can or whatever, but you're always finding something to do. You're
definitely
something with Bitten Apple TV. You're doing something. You're doing some type of new videos. You're planning shows. So you're going a little all over. Hey, we got this scheduled this weekend. Obviously, I know you going to New York Comic-Con, so I was like, oh, we got this plan, we got this, but so you're thinking on your pre-planning on what needs to get done in that time period, that week, whatever. And it's like, oh man, this week's going by. I haven't got done what I need, So I mean, you're 100% that, man.
Oh, definitely. And we had a busy as hell August. We had a busy as hell July. We had a busy as hell June. We had a busy as hell. We were busy from like March all the way. And October is looking like, forget the 10th anniversary stuff. Add the spooktacular stuff on top of that. Add the cons, which is New York Comic Con, which is the big con, and which is a lot of planning and a lot of doing stuff for. Then we have Urban Action Showcase, which is on October 25th, which we help them with the filming, we help them with the interviews, we help them all that stuff. So it's a busy October.
Yeah,
completely. And again, that's not even adding to the live shows and all the other stuff that we throw in there, because in October we always do the spooktacular. And we have people come on the show, like Shannon Michelle, who will be our ghost host again.
Nice.
She's busy at the moment doing her stuff with Paraflix, and a lot. She's another one that's been busy as heck. She's been doing a lot of photo shoots.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, when she's on the show, we're gonna have a lot to talk to her about. And I think she got a role in a movie as well. So
wow,
nice.
A horror movie, of course.
I would hope so.
Of course.
Yeah, but I am constantly doing something. I'm only worried when I'm not doing something, especially if I'm not writing. If I am not writing, something's wrong.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'm always writing.
Yep.
You guys may not see what I'm writing, but I am always writing.
Well, this is true, because we all want to bring new stories to life with our Pacific brands or stories. And if you're not writing, I don't know. Like whenever I go away, I think of different ideas. No matter where I'm going, I could be driving down I-95 and I see something. It's like I tell us, like, things just like, and I'm blessed, and I always say this. People that we come and we put together stories, whether comic book board or or book or whatever, right? That we have the ideas that we can mold together, which doing that takes a lot of time and effort and the love for it, right? A lot of people, when I've gone to at least Comic Cons, and people come up to me and they say, oh, how do you do this? How do you do this? And I always tell them, straight honest, I'm like, there's no right or wrong answer. You just got to sit at your computer and just try to come up with ideas, write notes, for people that it's like, I don't know how to find time. Like, yeah, me neither. That's a common problem,
But I have to say, Frank, I was talking to you before, when I was asking you if you wanted to be on the show, and you were talking about the fact that you were finding time to write. You were finding the times to actually do what needed to be done. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of people, when they look at their writing, when they look at all this stuff, they feel like they need to be sitting down at a typewriter, taking care of the writing, instead of doing I always find time to write. I make time to write. If I'm on the train and I'm going somewhere, I'm writing. It's all about finding the time to do the whole thing. Sitting down and writing, it's beautiful. And if you have the time to do that, then by all means do
I was in the car with you for 8 hours. You didn't write one word, man.
Dude, I was the whole time. If you see me on the phone, I am writing.
You weren't on the phone. You were sitting there jawing the whole time.
Well, that still works, because I am jawing with you and getting ideas.
Oh, there you go. Okay. I'll let that go.
I gotta say, it's funny that we're talking about this now. That's exactly how my ideas come to me is having conversations or listening to conversations.
Nice.
I don't eavesdrop. It's just that my brain picks up on conversations. Like if you ever paying attention, sometimes I'm not looking at you while I'm conversing with you, and the whole problem is that I'm hearing too much stuff happening around. So if I'm not looking at you, then you become part of the background noise, and it makes it easier for me to listen to what you're saying.
Oh. that was me as a teacher. Didn't go over well.
See, but when it comes to stuff like that, when it comes to public speaking, when it comes to something happens. I cannot tell you how I can do this show because there's a moment where there's just too much stuff happening and you're not paying attention to things. But with the show, it feels like I understand or something happens in my head where it's like, okay, all this information has to come in and I have to put it out and it has to all work together.
You know what he just said just kind of reminded me of For the Love of the Game. I love that baseball movie. I mean, a lot of people like Field of Dreams, but I happen to love that movie. So, and he kind of reminded me of Andy Pettit as well. So, if you guys ever see For the Love of the Game?
Oh,
Yeah, Kevin Costner is excellent.
Yeah. So I loved him in that.
Was in that movie.
I love that movie. It's one of my favorite baseball movies. Like Field of Dreams, I know is a lot of people's, but just for that. So obviously, if you see the movie, he plays the character Billy Chappell, retiring 38-year-old playing for the Detroit Tigers. What Ralph just described was Billy Chappell, because when he went on that mound, he blocked out the noise of Yankee Stadium, right? Yep. So that's exactly what he just described. Like it just like as he's talking, like he blocks out the noise and he hears his ideas coming through, not like the surrounding noise. But that's what Billy Chappell did. That's how I always find when Andy Pettit pitched. Just like not that I'm bringing baseball or sports into it, but like when you look at
baseball's life.
Yeah, when you looked at Andy Pettit on that mound, right? When his eyes were locked in, they were locked. Nothing was distracting him from anything. He was on point guy won 17, 18 games a year. So, I mean, that's really good for, and like he was locked in on those batters and his eyes, just like diehard Cardinal fan, man. When he pitched, just locking in on those eyes, man, you could throw paper planes at him and nothing was moving, and that's what like Ralph was describing, because when you're locked in, when you're right, whether you're out, whether you're hearing something, whether there's noise at home, whatever's going on, whether it's work related from outside of writing and anything, like that's what locks him in. And Ralph is Billy Chappell.
I gotta say, I like all the stuff happening. I love the fact that the cons and all this is happening. But I love when cons or things are happening in abstract locations. And I gotta say, Jess, how the hell are you at a barber shop?
That is a great question. Oh, man.
That's what I want to know, because it seems brilliant. So how are you at this barber shop?
I'm actually getting my haircut like the hour before that. He's Rich is a good buddy of mine. He's been my barber for like the better part of a decade. I trust no one with my hair as much as I trust Rich. And he finally, years of sitting in his chair, he's talking about, I'm opening my shop. I'm going to open my shop. My wife's investing. We're opening the shop. And then he finally opened the shop, and the shop is gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful. So I went to go get a haircut last month, and I was like, dude, your place is gorgeous. He's like, yeah, you know what? There's a spot in the back to sign comics. And I'm like, what?
That's awesome.
So it was really his idea. And then I guess we partnered with JCast, which is the Jersey City Arts and Studio Tour.
Mm-hmm.
So we're official partners with JCast, and what
Nice.
they take location. They have a main location in like downtown historic Jersey City, but then they take other locations of like local businesses around the town and place artist residencies in them to do like local artist collaborations. So it's almost like the whole city becomes an art gallery for the month of October.
I love
That's really
brilliant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great idea.
So look up JCast. They're an incredible organization. They're also, I think, funded or partners with the Jersey City Arts and Culture Council. So it's huge. They're bringing, you know, art to the people in very unconventional ways, and this is one of them. There's Rich cutting my hair. That's crazy. Rich is a solid dude. I love that man. And yeah, that's gonna be us on this Friday. Right here. So Tom and Henry Barbershop. Don't mind my backpack there. Sorry. Tom Henry Barbershop presents the first official exclusive comic reading of Ashes of Eden. So that's going to be fun. And there's JCast, Jersey City, Office of Cultural Affairs. I knew it said that. The Jersey City Arts Council. So they're all kind of like the organizations that create this sort of like citywide art walk.
I gotta say, I feel like we have gotten to a point now where we need to stretch our legs, come out of our comfort zone, go to places that are not the usual places, because the comics have done the same thing as well. The whole entertainment field has done the same thing as well. They've kind of stretched out from where they were, and I feel like if we don't take advantage of that, we're going to be lost to it.
Yeah, and I think I don't know. There's something in making this comic book. I think some of you guys know I came from the film world originally.
Yep.
I came from acting and then bounced out of acting and moved to the other side of the camera and production. So it's always like the fun part of putting a show together, putting a film together, and then kind of like getting to be a circus barker about it. That's half the fun for me of like creating art is like, oh, doing the circus barker routine after. That's great. And this feels a little bit like it, but it used to be frowned upon, I feel like, on like social media or in
you doing everything yourself. Yeah, it used to be frowned. Why are you doing everything yourself?
Right. But I mean, like the circus barker or like the selling.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like before, what would happen was that you were the guy doing this, and then somebody else was being your mouthpiece.
Exactly.
I feel that you lose something when that other person's your mouthpiece, and I always wondered why people would get upset that you were doing it yourself. And I'm like, a lot of successful people have done it themselves.
I don't know any other way, to be honest with you. Like these organizations, like JCast, the Jersey City Arts Council, it's almost encouraged, and like not only encouraged, it's kind of necessary to get your stuff out there. It's like they're like you have to talk to your community. You have to kick your foot in every like bodega or barber shop you can and be like, this is what I do. This is what I do. I make manga. This is what I do. Bodega guy, while you're making my sandwich, I make manga. And it's like, I don't know. You can't be embarrassed about that because we're all people. We're all a little weird, and it's just really another opportunity to be people with people, even though it's talking about the stuff you make. And at that point, it doesn't really feel like selling. It's just like I used to watch my grandfather, and he was from the Bronx. This guy was like the saltiest, most like Bronx dude you'd ever meet in your life. But he had this thing about him from growing up in the Bronx. He could literally walk into any establishment, walk up to any stranger, and within 5 minutes, he's walking away with a new best friend. It's like just that ability to like open up and like talk to whoever is interesting to you. And I think this is like, that's why I kind of love events like this. And it sort of spills over into conventions too. It's honestly a lot of the same thing. It's like anybody who's interesting to you, that's an opportunity to connect with somebody. And then, hey, if you happen to throw your book in there and connect over that too, that's pretty cool. That's a nice little icing on the cake. But I think at the end of the day, it's really just being people with people. And art can kind of get, especially, we're all solo creators. It can kind of put us in a vacuum sometimes. And that's great for getting stuff done and maybe like drawing or writing. But at a certain point, and I'm learning this in my process, got to get out of the vacuum, got to go be people with people and like remember to be a human. Otherwise, I get into my depression. But my depression comes from that isolation too much. And I need that to create. But if I'm in there too much, Papa's sad. Papa gets sad.
No, we're social beings and you got to get out.
Yeah.
That's just going to get you more opportunities for possible ideas. So
right,
look at it.
And it's so funny because all three of you, are on a very similar place because you guys hustle. You guys are hustling. You guys are definition of hustling. Because Paul, you are a total hustler because you are doing everything yourself.
Every time I see Paul like coming up with a new part of his game or
exactly
a new like thing to go with it, whether it's a T-shirt or the tchotchkes or the figures, and I'm like, or the sculpture.
Yeah.
Every time I see you come with like a new entry point to that, it's so inspiring, dude. I have to tell you that.
Well, I not to let you down, Jesse. I did just finish and hot off the press.
Ooh.
I'm going to show it to you electronically, but this is a prototype, and this is the education program I'm developing for kids in school. And it's actually a mission log, and the whole point is to give kids an opportunity to journal, talking about writing, right? And this journal is part of a unit program for time enforcers, and it's going to have, depends on what the school wants to implement, but we'll have 16 units, which is a whole semester. Each unit is 2 weeks in length. And if I can pull up the electronic one, Ralph, it'll probably be easy to show. But this is the cover. It's meant to look like a file folder, if you can see that.
That's really cool.
It looks just like a file folder. I love it.
It's like flat. It's got the classified on it, which I love. Everything's all about mission enhancements here, right? And just to give you an idea, the back cover, when I went and had this bound, the lady who put the coil wire on, she kind of freaked out. She said, "Oh my God, did I destroy this?" I said, "No, I intentionally put
the coffee ring.
I intentionally put. I can't do it backwards. I intentionally put the coffee ring on here."
Great, dude. Oh my God.
You know it's good when somebody gets worried that they did it.
I know, it's like she's freaking out. I said, "Oh my God, I ruined your bucks." Like, no, you didn't. I did my job.
So Paul, just share the stuff and I'll put it up so you can talk about it.
Yeah, sure. Let me just give it to you quick. It'll just take a few minutes, so I'll just do this.
I definitely love all the stuff. Like I said, it's just amazing to me that you are the one doing everything. You do have help from your family, and I've seen that as you talk, you start gathering this team, like myself, who want to help you out.
Well, that's why I got the Fractured Atlas going. I mean, this is really what Fractured Atlas is going to do in terms of building out this education program. I really want this to be a curriculum for kids. I think the more inspired you can make this attitude about learning, and it becomes more of a creative process to learn. And that's really what I'm looking to do here. Is that working?
Hold on. I need to get rid of the other one and then put that one in. There.
Cool. Yeah, so this is a PDF of what I just showed you. So this is the cover, right? It's got the classified. It's like Property Galactic Space Time Consortium. It's really meant to be like a dossier for kids. And I really wanted to make this a game-inspired, document that they would go through. And so it starts off and you personalize it. You could put your name in there with the teacher's name and the class and the period block. But I interject some stuff from episode 1. Time is not a barrier, is a gateway to unlock new worlds. And that's from H.G. Wells, executive director of the Galactic Space Time Consortium. And so, it's about having fun with this, right? And then this is the cover that I have for the inside. So it's all about what you see in terms of, this is a backdrop of episode 1 where Kaizen is fighting the initial minions for Chronolith in Kyoto, and then I've listed all the characters that I have going on that I have in the game currently. And so we're introducing new characters, like I said before. We've got Amelia, who's going to be in episode 2. We've got Nick, who's a detective, who's going to appear in Grayscale. He's there as well. He's going to be voiced over by Raphael, which I'm excited about. We got Togo, who is the sled dog from the Alaska Sea and Rum, right? And then we got Maisie the mechanic, who I came up with because in developing episode 2, I really wanted to put a monetizing aspect into the game, and that was going to be, how do I improve the plane? Well, you need a mechanic to do that. So I said, what the heck? I'll make Maisie the mechanic. And so she's actually a physicist from MIT, because you work on temporal dynamics, right? You just don't work with wrenches, right? So this woman is, really a smart African-American, and she's going to be working on Amelia's plane, converting it into a transdimensional craft. So it's really, this is the kind of fun stuff that I have with this. It can be a waste of time, but I just like anyway.
That's so cool, dude.
That's really awesome. Those are some awesome. That's all I gotta say, man.
I gotta say, I love your whole here's your agent file here.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's a dossier, right? And then what I thought of, and we were talking over this with Ralph, and I said, what the heck? And Ralph said, you got to have the kids create their own agent. And so, okay, let's create an avatar. So this next page comes up, and the kids can draw whatever they want. And I'm really trying to get them to think about what they're drawing and who's inspiring you to be this avatar. Is it a leader, an inventor, an explorer, or is it someone in your community? It could be anybody, right? It could be your mom and dad or a grandparent, whoever that might be. And then, convert that idea into an avatar and then give it a name and characteristics, right? And this is your avatar that you're going to be using going through the whole program. And then going down, this is just a primer that shows how to use the journal. Really, the idea is to get kids to write at least 5 minutes a day, because you write those 5 minutes a day. By the end you're done at the week, you get 20 minutes worth of writing that you can use. And I broke up this unit into 2 segments. One is what I call a recon section, where they do the research, and the other is going to be the agent team up challenge, where they get together with their classmates, they pull their ideas together, and then you do a presentation. So not only are you talking about having fun doing this, right, but you're also talking about journaling, which I think is important. Writing ideas down every day is critically important for anyone, doesn't matter, writer, whoever. And then the second part is going to be working as a team and not having one person do the whole assignment. It's really empowering all the members to do their part and create a really cool project. And another idea I came up with was this thing called the data bank. And it looks like this here. Okay, but this part down here, this data bank, is actually information that's going to be contained for the mission. In this data bank, you'll have ideas for characters, places, or things, right, that they can choose from mission 1, which is Kyoto campaign, Japan, right? And then you have references that you can go to. So they provide the references where they can start their research. And then it has guiding questions in terms of, okay, what do you think about this, or moving on. That way the kids have like a step-by-step guide in order to figure out how to do the research for themselves. So that's what that data bank is. And then this is the journal page. Let me just get rid of this stupid thing. This is the journal page here. So basically they just start cataloging. And so mission 1 is the recon. And sorry, my wife is calling. Give me 1 second.
Hey!
Anyway, I'll let her know in a second. She's still calling. Give me a second. Give me a second.
No worries. Okay, cool. We're going to say hi to Angel, because Angel's over here going saying, happy anniversary, Bitten Apple TV. And Son of Satan, I have to say, I was just thinking about you, because I was considering taking our
what's up?
When Worlds Collide stories and reposting them again, because it's just the spooktacular of October, and some of those stories were very spooktacular. So I was considering putting them back up. Son of Saint, what do you think about that? It was funny because a couple years back, Son of Saint and I were doing When Worlds Collide, where we were doing these mashups with 2 different heroes or different people in the same story from different universes.
That's cool.
Sometimes from the same universe.
That's pretty cool.
But it was a lot of fun. It was some good stories. I wrote the stories, and Angel did the art, and boy, did he do some good art. Oh man, I see Nathan has popped into the chat.
Wow.
We got Nathan and we got Jordan.
I know.
Nathan, what's up, guys?
Never fails. I get on a roll, right? Yeah. Next
Oh,
time
man.
we're gonna vibrate. That's okay. So
Go ahead, Paul. Continue.
yeah, so basically this is the journal stuff, okay, that we go through, and the kids put their entries in every day. And it's listed day by day, so you can put the date in, and then you have, today's objective, and it's really meant to only take 5 minutes tops to fill the stuff out. I really try to make it so that it's not a challenge for kids to write in this. And part of the homework assignment will be playing the game. So they'll have 2 missions to play, one each week, and they go through and they'll go ahead and, experience not only the gameplay, but then also the journaling aspect, which is kind of cool. And I'll just skip through this part. At the end, this is all merit-based, right? So it's really trying to incentivize kids to really do a good job. And so based on the degree of work they're doing, they get award badges. Who doesn't like stars or a badge, right? To know they've done a good job. And really, this is going to offer them the opportunity to get badges for different things they do over the course of the project, like either research, creativity, teamwork, presentation, journal mastery, active participation, critical thinking, or mission completion. So it's really trying to get kids to think, what else can I do more to make myself, participate more in this whole program. And the second week of the unit is the agent team up challenge. And that's where they come in and they actually team up with their other members of the class. And they go in and they start to formulate what it is we need to do to make a good presentation. And the presentation is really meant to be a briefing. It's just not, a litany of things that I found in terms of research. It's really discussing what was really most important, because really you have to put everything down like in 3 or 4 slides tops, and you got to get it out there within 5 minutes. So it's really teaching the kids to understand how to make things concise and make it impactful, and then get that message across really quickly. And so again, the daily mission log, this is the second week unit that goes through and they put their information in. And again, at the end of the unit, you get your badge for doing the agent team up challenge. And then behind that, I put in a whole slew of information for note taking. So this is a mission recon session where they actually go through and actually start cataloging all their notes that they get from researching the topic. Okay, and you got Nick up there saying, you record your research here, but don't forget to cite your references. And it's really important the kids cite where they got this information from. That way they know they can validate what they're saying, and they know exactly how to express it the right way. So this is the note section for Mission Recon. And then you come up to the Agent Team Up Challenge, and this is where we start to assign the roles for the different members of the team. Okay, and you get your research agent, you get your chrono analyst, which is actually going to take care of the timing of how things should take place over the meeting. The connections officer, they're going to tie connections between what the research is showing and how it's going to be valid and important. Your visual intelligence officer, they're going to help put together the presentation. It could be a poster, it could be a diorama, it could be, a PowerPoint, whatever that is. However the kids want to do it, how they want to express what they want to present, it's up to them to decide. And your team liaison, they're going to help coordinate how the presentation is going to pull together. So really, it's just not one person that can take care of all this. All the team has to get together and really put their part in to get it done. And then I provided leading questions in terms of how to really focus so they can get this information together. So they have this team presentation preparation, and there's like 5 questions in here that they can write notes against. And then once they get that done, they can pull the information together and they have a presentation. And it's really, what the teacher is going to help them focus on this information, make sure they're guided the right way to get it done. And so this is just additional notes. And then this is actually, sorry, I'll skip out of this. This is just more stuff that I did on the side, but I'll go all the way down the bottom because I just want to show you really quick. And so the one thing I wanted to do is really incentivize the kids in terms of, let them know they've done a great job. So this is going to be almost, an award that they're presented with at the end of the class, saying, here, you did a great job. This is what you did to complete the whole process, and outstanding effort, because everyone wants to be recognized for their work, especially if it's good stuff. And there's really no reason why we can't do that for everyone who participates. And then this is just, let me get down to the end. Let me see if I missed Maisie. Oh, sorry. This is the interior page that starts the book. I actually wanted to give a presents for the kids. And this is showing a map of feudal Japan. So it really shows what the main cities were. And these are the cities that happen in the game. So they have a point of reference to go to in terms of what it is, they're exploring and researching. And I think there was another page, but I don't have it. Oh, it's another file, but I can show you this later. So big deal. But that's basically the whole idea behind what this is. I also set up a document for the instructor. It looks very similar to the other, mission journal, but this is for the instructor, the teacher to go through, gives them guidance so that they can see everything's tabbed out, so you can see, exactly how to stage the content. And it provides all the information they need to go through and get the information out to the kids in the right way. And just to show that I'm not really doing this off the top of my hat, but I've went and researched and I found out all the state mandates that are required. I looked at New Jersey and New York, and you can see here all the classes that we have going into this will be mandated by the states. So everything is going to be aligned with the proper channels, so that whatever's taught to them is going to be valid. And so if this is going to be a charter school or if it's going to be homeschooling, you'll have all the mandates here and you'll have all the subjects aligned, and that way that the kids will be able to pass with a grade that's valid. So it's really cool stuff. I love researching this stuff, and two, I just love pulling together, which is really cool.
I gotta say, Paul, I love how it's come together because you've been showing this to me for each stage of the evolution, and this is like a whole other place from when you initially showed it to me.
Yeah, well, this is where I always wanted to go with it. I knew it had to get into education, and so it's really going in that direction now. I mean, I have other grander ideas for this, and it has to do with like AR and AI and VR, but so there's so many things. This just blows my mind in terms of getting it done. It's just getting the resources to get it done. That's the thing.
Is it, if you're allowed to say, you spiked up a exclamation point for me. Are you allowed to talk about what you've done in the way of AR or where you're going with that?
Yeah, really simple. I mean, if you're familiar with Pokemon Go, right, and you interact with gyms pretty much almost everywhere in the world, right? What I call it is history all around us, the ultimate field trip. And what it's going to be is you walk around with your phone or your mobile device, and the game is going to interact where you are at the place that you're currently at, and it will, if it's a place of historical significance, it'll drop you into the game and you'll interact with the significant history that's happening in that spot. So I live right there around the corner from Washington headquarters, right? That's where Washington was for like 2 years during the winter, and he had his troops bivouacked in Jockey Hollow. So if you walk by Washington headquarters, boom, you'll meet up with Washington, and I guarantee you there'll be a battle going on, which may or may not have existed, but that's the point of the game, right? Is to really have fun while you're doing this and learn history at the same time.
I can see it now.
It's engaging with that. So
I
that's
see
really
Washington showing up going, I need your help.
Exactly. My other idea is like, it doesn't have to be necessarily war-based, but if you're in Yosemite, right, and you're walking around Yosemite, all of a sudden you run into Ansel Adams, and he's there with his 8x10, slate, camera, and he's taking pictures of the, Tetons, whatever. And it's like, it's understanding that history is a lot more than just battles and such. It's like, Thomas Edison was in, West Orange, for goodness sakes, and he had a whole factory there. Yep. And there's just so many things happening all around us that people, I think, are just overlooking and just don't know. And that's really the whole point why I want this history all around us, So,
are you familiar with a company called Replayer by any chance?
No, I'm not.
I'll throw it up in the chat.
That'd be great.
Yeah, it's they have an infrastructure already that kind of does what you're doing.
Cool.
And they might be someone to reach out to.
That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, I love it.
If
I can use existing tech, why not?
Yeah. The CEO of Replayer is my old, we used to run a film production company together. So he's like one of my best friends.
That'd be really cool, Jesse.
If you look at it and you see like, oh, this could be an alignment, or this could be a really cool Venn diagram that happens, let me know and I'll link you guys.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I'm really looking to leverage as much as I can and get this information out as quick as I can. That's the biggest challenge right now, is just building content.
Let me see. Trying to remember the website. I love this show, Ralph, because you never know what you're gonna like, what dots are gonna connect.
Oh, I meet so many people on this show. It blows my mind. Just the creative talents that come on here, just incredible. It really is.
Okay, here it is. It is up in the chat.
It's amazing to me how everything connects. Like, I didn't even think about the fact that all three of you were on, and you guys are all hustlers. You guys actually work your butts off to do what you guys are doing to get to where you guys have gotten. Frank is amazing to watch, and one of my favorite things when I was at Rhode Island with Frank was the fact that it was good to see him like do his thing. People would just like come towards him, and he'd be like, "Bring them in." And then he'd sell them a book, and then they'd be happy to take a picture with him and leave. And I'm like, how the hell did he do that? Dude, you guys got to see Frank in action.
Ralph, I got to give Ralph kudos for something. So when we were at Rhode Island, and Ralph got a zillion ideas. I mean, this was probably like 2 years ago, Ralph, that you said this to me.
I think it's been 2 years, yeah.
It's about 2 years. So, walk around and, I mean, all of us are friends. And then, right, you see the stuff that we all posting and whatever. And, my characters, I think it stands out, and I think a lot of people do with the, the samurai, Japanese warrior. So he comes up to me and he turns around and he goes, "You know what you should do? You should make a cardboard cutout." Ralph, that's a good idea because I'm going to have it in November at Monster Mania. So he was the one that gave me that idea. But, ever since 2 years ago, all I do now when I set up my table, like I look at the different arts, and books and stuff like that. And you know what I've never seen? A cardboard cutout. But I think something like that has to be done right. And I have a printer that's very local to me in West Babylon, and he does my prints, my books, for the majority of them. He does book 2 and book 3. So what he's doing, he found something that he wants to do. So definitely more an interactive idea. So you take a picture of the master standing on the book cover. So now what he's going to do, he's like, "Hey, I got this idea." So I'm like, "All right, shoot." I said, he's like, "I'm going to make the picture of the master and have the books and all the information on there. But what I'm also going to do is now that people get to put their head and go behind it and put their head as they're the master." I'm like, that's an even greater idea, because who doesn't want to go to
Exactly.
like a farm, right? Like I do it all the time. So there's a place on Long Island called the Milleridge Inn. My parents would take us when we were younger, and they had all these wooden characters, old school, back in the 20s and 30s, probably even before then, because that restaurant was where George Washington actually stayed at that place during the Civil War. So that place has so much history, or even maybe beyond there. At some point he stayed there. I remember that used to be a hotel. So, so yeah, I probably screwed up the years, just a little bit, but he did stay there. But it wound up turning out into a restaurant. But there was famous presidents that stayed there, and other political people way back when, and And I always remember that as a kid, like I would walk behind these wooden things and be like, 9, 10 years old. I still do it at almost 50 if I see it. I'm like, oh, this is cool. Let me do it. But that's a thing where I look at it and I look back and I'm like, man, I said Ralph was really onto something that he came up with. And I'm like, because the more cons I've done, I've done like 53, 55, whatever it is. That's one thing I don't see, right? You have to have the character to do it. And not that I ever knock anybody's stuff, but that character just stands out, right? Ancient samurai standing there with two swords, look like he's going to rip someone's heart out, normal walking, but it stands out. And like I say, when I came up with the story of the Dark Legend, I wanted to come up with a character that built Jason, Chucky, Michael, like all those characters stand out. I mean, I would love for me to get like them, but seeing something that people drawn to, even if when I'm at cons, people don't buy the book, they always stop and look. Well, what the hell is that? What's that? What's that? So now if I bring that to a con, I'm like, now you're mixing something even a greater dynamic of that. Oh, let's walk over to it. What's this? What's this? Oh, no picture without no book. Sorry. you know, you know, but I think that was a great idea. So, I'm going to have that at Monster Mania in November. So, it's probably, when was that? That was no, I think it's like the week before Thanksgiving. I think it's like November 8th, 20th, something like that. It's like the third week.
They all start putting together, man.
Oh man, like doing so many cons, they just all like when I tell my wife about the stories and everything, like I'm like, oh, this happened. Oh wait, did that happen there? No, that was that one. No, and I'm like, I was like, you just tell a story. She's like, they all stick together because they do after a while. Like certain ones don't, like MegaCon, I'm sure in New York will stick out, and stuff like that. But like the bigger ones tend to stick out. But I'm always grateful, and and this is what like I think sells me. And we're all very outgoing people, and we're all very passionate about what we created: games, comics, books. We're all passionate about what we do and how we write, but our passion has to be outlaid to our potential consumer, right? This is coming from someone who's been working with Coke for like almost 18 years. So you just have just a tad of experience doing
Right.
that. But it's so different. Like when I tell my wife, like it's, so different when I'm selling something for a company than selling my own thing, and you're going to be more passionate, you're going to be more hardcore, you're going to be more into it, and like talking to the fans. It's nice if they leave with whatever we're selling, right? But sometimes that doesn't happen. Okay, but maybe they take the business card, maybe they go on Amazon, maybe they go on our website and order what they want. But it's also the way we interact. And like I know I've got a lot of people that come back to me, they follow me, which is even better, which like I always like to hear that fans know who I am, right? And they come back and they're like, oh, we remembered you from whatever con, or it was a con last year or someplace else that they see me. I saw a guy that lived in Dallas. So I saw him at Dallas Fan Expo, which I did about 2 years ago. And he flew from Dallas to MegaCon last year. So the same guy. And he's like, there was a bunch of people I wanted to get signed over here. So I flew. He goes, but I also knew that you were coming here. Made me feel like $1 million, man, and different things have been, which I never got to tell Ralph, but so I have a local bagel store in West Babylon. So now everybody's going to be like stalking me now, I went to a local bagel store about 2 weeks ago.
My family lives in West Babylon.
Do they?
Yeah, I got a cousin out there.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, now I do.
A lot of Long Island family out there.
And you're still in.
I'm originally from Queens.
Oh, my parents were from Queens. I think most people that moved Long Island. But anyway, so I went to my local bagel store. I always go same bagel store over the weekends, pick up bagels or when I have my son or just me and my wife. And I just happened to walk in, and there were three people that asked me, like, "Oh, are you the writer of the Dark Legend?" I'm like, yeah. I'm like, he's like, you guys don't know who I am. Each one of like sometimes I like wonder if they do, but I mean, and each of them pulled up the same post. So remember that post Ruff that she posted about 2 weeks ago promoting the Dark Legend, and it was like a really dark cover.
Yeah.
So they seal that one. So they're like, "Oh, we've seen this," and I'm like, "Oh wow!" So that's happened once or twice at that bagel store, and then there was one or two separate times I was taking the Long Island Ferry to like the Connecticut area, and that happened a few times. One person I actually signed the book because they were actually reading the book on the ferry, which I thought was even cooler, you know. But
That's pretty cool.
but like those little things, like the effort, like I always say, the effort that we put in, promoting it, writing it, whatever we're doing, right? Sometimes you're like, oh, is this really working or is that not? Sometimes you question it because you want to see the feedback. We always want to see the feedback sooner than later, right? But
Yeah.
like when you start to see that, like it really, like, all right, like it changed the way my view was, like, because I was like, oh man, is this getting to the right people? Is this getting to the reach? And I guess it kind of answered my question. Yes. Definitely makes you feel good about things, little things like that. It just, man, I could have had the crappiest day ever in my life, and that would have changed that. Just like, man, I was just going on and on and on about that, man. It was great.
Love it, man. It's always interesting to me. Like, there are times where we'll get people who talk to us about episodes, and I'm like, okay, or you saw this, or oh, I saw this show the other week ago, and this is one of those things where the numbers that you might see may not be the numbers that are true, because there's times where the more I get more people that come up to me than the apps tell me I'm watching the show. So you're like, okay, the app says only so many people watch the show, yet I've had like a bunch of people talk about that one episode.
Right.
And that always bugs me out. And I'm like, and that's why I tell people, don't listen to those freaking numbers and all that stuff, because you're not getting the full picture. Because there's people watching, and they're watching it, especially with us, because we're multi-platform. So sometimes you have whatever we're putting up in it on multiple places, on TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram, it's all over the place. YouTube.
It's just because you're so memorable, Raphael. That's the thing. Everyone sees you once and is like, I know this guy.
Well, it's great.
That's kind of how it works.
I bring back with every time I bring it up now and then. Like I bring it up, like when me and Ralph met. Like,
Yeah.
what was it, 17? Like East Coast Comic Con, which obviously we always joke about. It just doesn't exist anymore, But like I met him way back when, and then like just like a lot of different people that he has on, right? He sees their journey in their craft, and have you take a look back from when they were then and then to what they are now, and he's like, man, the growth that you had, the growth, and just seeing that, like, he wants success for everybody, and having these platform that he gives all of us is something that is you can't thank enough, for us all giving the opportunities for us creators to do something like that. I mean, no words. That's how I say it.
That's a good way to put it.
Oh my God. I gotta put this up. I always do this to him. Let's see. Where are you? It is the 10th anniversary, so I might as well, have a little bit of flashback here.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you have.
Are you going to embarrass yourself? Is that what you're saying?
I'm going to do that in a bit, but right now I'm going to embarrass Frank.
Yeah, I knew he was going to do it, but I love it.
What he does, why he was, where you came up with the concept of it, and everything.
Oh boy, this is going to be a long one. But anyway, I actually used to work at hotels, and I used to come home, and I turned on 8 Heads in the Duffel Bag, which had to be the god awfulest worst movie I've ever seen, even though it was a mafia movie. And from that came this. Go figure, from a mafia movie to a Japanese horror thing. But his name is the Master, and it takes place 400 years ago, feudal Japan. And his mother and father were the Lees, and they were part of a big shogun army. And the shoguns wanted them to kind of help them to go from village to village to kind of take over. And they didn't really want to be a part of that, so they slaughtered an entire army. The mother was pregnant with what was to be the Master, so they went up into the Ohika Mountains and raised their child for 20 years. In doing so, they wanted to kind of give the Master some type of immortality. So they went to their god named Orthor, and they asked him for a 5 scrolls of terror, which would give him...
You see his son?
Oh my God, with his eyes, I love it.
It's so funny because if you watch the whole video, folks, you'll get a whole entertaining moment from his son doing so many different things.
Man, that was my first interview. You know how nervous I was, and then you could just tell, like I'm like, I sound like a glitch, just like in the computer, like. It's funny, but I look at that. I always love when he puts that on. I get embarrassed, but I laugh at it so hard because it's so funny. Because I look at something like that, right? You have, when I first did that video, never did an interview, so I was like, oh, this is great, and then I was like kind of nervous. And my son was all over the place and everything, which was even funnier because I don't even remember how he had to be like 7 or something like that. He just turned 16 like in June. So so I was so nervous doing that. But then I look at over time when Ralph would go to this show and Ralph would go to this show and this show and this show and always see me. Now it's like, all right, done, easy. I don't even, no scripted words, no nothing, and it's just but it's just so funny. I look at that, that was a growing point for me, right? Trying to understand how to phrase it and be more natural, and Ralph actually filming me all these years and seeing me all over has so helped me. Because that was not one of my strong points. It was probably the weakest thing about me, and it should be my strongest thing, right? Because I'm talking about something I created, and then you could just see how nervous I was. I must have said, he probably had it on for a minute. I must have said 20 ums, But it just he does things right, to kind of. We all have our different personalities. We all have our different strengths and weaknesses. And he's kind of made my weakness one of my strengths now. And that was so many years ago. So, I've got an interview. Come on here. I could talk forever, as I think we all can about our, things that we create, projects that we got going on, our writing and stuff, but it's great being able to have that. And I look back at that video, sometimes I even look at it when I'm like, oh my man, I show my my wife that one, and she's like, wow. I'm like, yeah, that was really bad. He goes, I'm not like that anymore. And she's like, I hope not. I just laugh because I think, but that's when I met him. I met him doing East Coast Comic-Con 2 weeks before or 2 weeks after I did an independent. I think it was before.
It's a good show too. It's sad that it kind of died with the pandemic.
Oh,
Yeah, that was a really good show. I really did like that. Like I enjoyed it. It was at I don't even remember the convention center it was at, but it wasn't like it was good. It had a good draw, had just everything, had a mixture of comics, some decent celebrities there. It was really like it was a really, it was a building block for Jersey, right? And then, like Ralph said, he goes, the pandemic came and just killed it, man. Just killed it. I mean, not that it would have been a nice local show for me to drive back and forth to go to, but now how freely am I, Ralph, when I do those videos? Breeze, right?
Yeah,
We
go, let's go, and then we can get it done.
The drill. Just okay, let's go, let's rock.
I see Jordan pop back in. You okay?
Yeah. Yep.
Jordan's another one. He when he first started, he was a little nervous. He was a little, out there, but he's really coming to his own.
Yeah, outside of like cringy YouTube videos I made like 10, 15 years ago. I mean,
Oh, definitely. And I have to say, Jordan's gotten to this point now where he's become an integral part of Bitten Apple TV. He's even handled the show by himself.
Yep, once and once only. And then I had to hand it off to Nate and other people to do the rest for me. Now I could probably do it though.
Oh yeah, because you've come a long way, my brother.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, let me see.
I posted that one YouTube link to my first one here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I thought I'm going to be looking for. So you guys are all in trouble. I'm going to be looking for all those episodes, and I'm going to be bringing them into the forefront.
Well, I already helped you out, so.
Well, he already put that one up. I think that's like a few times you put that up, but I like it. I like it's funny. I get embarrassed, but I laugh because it's like I look at that growth, and and I like from the videos that he posts up, and you get to see like the things like that I'm so freely to do. I'm like, oh man, I'm like, but it's a building block. You just like in any business, right? You kind of learn from what to do and not to do, right? Or like how to approach. But man, I was like, I love it that he does that. He bring it up. I'm like, I love it, because my son's eyes were like all over. He was like, oh, like if you
watch, it is one of the most entertaining videos to watch his son.
Oh yeah, it really is.
Having a blast.
Really,
you can see he's like sharing his toys.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, I'm sitting at a table at a comic. It felt like a big shot.
So, folks, let me throw a couple things up there because one of the things we love to do here at Bitten Apple TV is help creators with their Kickstarters.
Yeah.
Yeah. We love doing this. We love sharing this stuff. Our friend here has 5 days to go. He's at 1,151, 25 backers. I'm gonna play the videotape and let that do the talking.
Hi everybody, I'm Ron. And I'm CW from IB Comics. And we're here today to tell you about our exciting new novel series, The Collector. The Collector is part Western, part supernatural thriller. It follows a bounty hunter shrouded in mystery known only as Grace, as she sets off to retrieve Jackson Barrett, a corrupt rancher in West Texas in the late 1800s. She discovers that dark forces surround Barrett, and a simple bounty hunt quickly becomes a fight for her life and the lives of everyone in the Southwest. For this series, we drew inspiration from classic Western novels and films like Tombstone, Shane, and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, utilizing familiar tropes from the Western genre. However, where this gets interesting is when it's mixed with supernatural elements that create a fresh take on the Old West. Classic, but with a modern twist.
The Collector was written to be a standalone series for fans of action, Wild West showdowns, and the unexplained mysteries of the spirit world. For fans of the Grace comic and graphic novel series, it adds new depth to the existing story by exploring the lives of several of the characters that you've come to know and love.
We're so proud of this new series, and we can't wait for you to take this journey with us.
We have been truly fortunate to be able to travel the country and meet so many amazing and passionate fans of IB Comics. As we always say, we can't do this without you.
We need your support once again. Help us continue to bring new and thrilling stories to life.
Take a look at the Kickstarter and find a level that suits you and excites you. Pledge what you can.
And then share it with everyone you know.
Oh, desperately, we need that.
With your help, we can continue to grow and bring more of the kinds of stories that you love.
Thank you so much. Once again, I'm Ron.
And I'm CW from IB Comics.
I like when it all comes together and they explain it, and you get a nice sense of, I get it now at the end of the video.
Right.
Like I said, pretty good. A little thing going on there. Go check it out. Of course, 5 days, dude. We can get them to 2,000 in 5 days. Come on, we can get them to 3,000 in 5 days.
Where's the link?
Got this.
Where's the link, man?
Where's the link? What do I look like, a link giver or something?
Where's the link, man?
Do I look like a link giver or something?
Link, man.
The link. Here we go. Hold on. The link is right there in the comment section. Go check it out. We have a couple of other projects that are beginning to come up, and of course, you know, this is the best time to help them out because it is when they are ready to sign up to get notified. Folks, go check these out. Sign up to get notified. I'm going to put all the links into the comment section because, you know, we want you to go check these out. This looks interesting as it is. Go check it out, folks. And of course, we can't have all these upcoming projects without doing Wham! The shameless plug. Yes, folks, we've just gotten you a shameless plug right there. Jorge Medina will be here on October 13th, Indigenous People Day. We'll be hanging out with us here on Bitten Apple TV, talking all about his Kickstarter, which will be live by then. I think they're kicking off on October 7th. So, you know, go check that out. They're going to do a whole live kickoff. And that week, he will be signing at a comic store with Phil Rustford and the rest of the guys. So, you know, there's a lot of stuff happening. And we're going to be giving you a lot of information, folks. And, of course, we have to put the shameless plug into the comment section as well. Dude, I've been looking forward to this little book right here. And I am so happy the Kickstarter is right around the corner.
I'm excited. It's been a long time coming.
You telling me? I've been waiting for this for a while. I see Mark Torres from It Came for the Radio is in the comment section.
Hey.
It's a relief when you're able to hand off the show to others. Oh, completely. It's a complete relief when you can hand off the show to other people. Speaking of hanging off the show, you know, I will be this Sunday on It Came from the Radio, live on the radio with our friend Mark Torres right there. So, you know, go listen to us live on Sunday, you know, as we talk from the radio station itself. And I do have a link for that as well in the Facebook, because I was talking to Mark Torres earlier and he gave me the link. So I can give you guys that too, so you guys can go listen to it live on your own as we are hanging out talking about the 10th anniversary of Bitten Apple TV.
Woo.
10th anniversary, folks. 10th anniversary. Telling you, there's going to be a lot of stuff happening for this 10th anniversary, and I hope you guys are along for the ride. All right, now look, mouse. Okay, there we go. So there we go. The comments in the comment section, you can see the link for hanging out with us on It Came from the Radio.
Nice.
Like saying it came from the radio. Yep, we will be there live on It Came from the Radio this Sunday, hanging out. I think the show's at 6:00, if I remember right. Mark, if you're there in the comment section, tell me if I'm right or wrong.
I think you're right.
I forget we have our own Mark Torres there. And of course, like our friends from Starside will be hanging out with us, talking about their Kickstarter soon. So go support them, because right now it is the best time to sign up to get notified. And these guys are great. And this is putting all their books together for volume 1. So if you haven't gotten all of them, this will be the best time to get all of them in one shot. And Starside is a fantastic book series, good sci-fi, and you will have them on the show, I think, for our Spooktacular on October 29th. They'll be coming to hang out with us and talk all about their beautiful Kickstarter, because it should be live by then. And of course, folks, if you guys are going, hey, Ralph, what about you and your writing? You guys were talking about your writing earlier. What I've been doing recently is I've been writing my musings in my head. And this here is a little thing that happens between a little conversation that me and my daughter have every morning. And you guys get come along for the ride. So go check it out. It's Who's in Charge. And it's not even what you think it is. So, I'll make it easy for you guys to go check it out, because every read you give me gives me money. So you read this, I get paid.
Let's do that.
If the freaking mouse will play along with it. Somebody's getting a phone call. All right, so while I'm trying to get this link, okay, there we go. Never mind. I was about to put one of you guys on the spot. All right, there it goes. In the comment section, it is on Vocal. I have a lot of musings and writings on Vocal. If you ever want to check out what my writings and musings look like, you can go over there. I also have a series on writing that I've been doing on Vocal as well. So go check it out. Go. Yeah, look, it came from the radio, 6 p.m. Eastern time, Sunday. Be there. Let me see. Is that everything? I think that is everything. I do see that Jordan has helped us out by putting the link to his YouTube.
Oh no, that was just to the first live thing I did.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. I'll right into it. Okay, hold on. Share it over here. And yeah, folks. Oh, wrong one.
Yep, wrong one.
How did I put it? Oh, there it is.
That's the right one.
Look, it is the Shadow Man himself, and Nathan as well.
Yep.
It is.
You sit behind the computer screen. I just have this running on my phone.
It's all right, Lou. We know you're a shirtless, beautiful man.
Again, if you want, do we have that Patreon going? Because you can find out that and more for the low cost.
You can go over to onlyfans.com. The Shadow Rabbit Clay God.
Don't say that.
And view the exclusive.
All right, so a couple of years ago, someone was advising me to just like set up my name on as many different websites as possible, just in case. But, you don't want to, like, maybe you do hit it off one day, and then you're there, and you're like, man, I'm gonna go on whatever this platform is, and someone's already got your name. What do you do? So I'm not saying that anyone ought to look me up on any of these adult websites. No, I'm just kidding.
Listen.
And I'm going to take that moment and take him up on it, and I'm going to show off the amazing Shadow Rabbit, because he's been up to some mischief lately.
Yeah, I've been.
Oh, so you actually didn't search up his OnlyFans?
I am not searching up his OnlyFans.
It's him making clay figures.
I am showing off his clay figures right here. Shadow Rabbit is the man. And folks, you talk about collabs. I will show you guys a beautiful collab with Time Enforcers.
Hey,
Bubblegum debilitator, man. Gotta love
this
it.
all is happening in the nick of time.
In the nick of time.
Oh, dude, this nick of time. I love the fact that he made it in grayscale.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that's important.
Dude, he just does amazing work, folks. Go hit him up. Go commission him today. He makes your dreams into reality. Look at that. This is another one of our friends from Everborn Saga. Look, he just made this piece for him, and I gotta say, I like when he gets creative. And look, this one moves. And see, man, Shadow's the man.
That's pretty dope.
And of course, you can see Shadow and the rest of us at New York Comic Con, hanging out, being all Bitten Apple on our 10th anniversary of being Bitten Apple. We're gonna have some fun at this New York Comic Con, whether they want us to or not.
Is Shadow exhibiting, Raphael?
He is not exhibiting. He will be hanging out with us. We will be doing running around with our heads cut off, showing things off.
Okay.
So he will be there.
I have a feeling we miss all the cool kids. I have a feeling you guys are doing different days than me, but it's okay.
Oh no, he will be there Saturday, so you'll see him. You'll see him Saturday.
I'm not there Saturday.
Oh no, you're there Friday, right?
I'm there Friday, yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. Couldn't get Saturday tickets, even though I signed up early for them.
Yeah, Saturday's hard to get. Out of all the Comic-Con tickets, Saturday's the hardest one. Thursday and Sunday stay almost all the way to the end. There's still Thursday tickets right now if you guys want to go Thursday.
Yeah.
Thursday. We shall be there Thursday with Shadow Rabbit and the rest of us hanging out and showing stuff. If you guys want to catch a glimpse of Roaming Tony, he'll be there Friday as well.
Hey.
Jordan, you got anything to show off before we go?
I don't have any links, but that our Common America Volume 11 starts next week. I know Tales of Mystery Volume 6 starts sometime this month.
Oh, that's right. Dirk Manning at New York Comic Con about a couple of things, like Source Point Press, and his upcoming
their quarter 1 2026 stuff.
Exactly.
Yep.
Dude, we love him, and of course he'll probably, if I can get him to come onto the show for our spooktacular, we'll have another Dirk Manning appearance.
Yep.
Jordan, are you part of the creative team on Common America?
No.
Oh, okay.
He is just a fan who likes to show up stuff.
Common America's fun, man.
It is a lot.
Dude, if you guys want a fan, you guys need to seduce Jordan, and he'll be like the greatest fan.
Yeah, like our guest last week.
Oh, definitely, that's right. Oh my God, that
who also has a Kickstarter going on right now.
Oh, that's right. They do have the Kickstarter going on right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go check out last week's episode and see what we're talking about. See, I'm going to leave you with a mystery. See what I did there? Oh my God, folks. Nathan, what do you got?
I got 2 enchiladas and a side of brisk.
Oh, speaking of which, Nathan and I will be hanging out with the rest of the guys doing D&D on Friday, because we did part of that tier for Madcaps, where we bought into our D&D game. So we'll be doing that on Friday.
Yes, of course. I remember this.
I remember when an attempt was made at a D&D game.
Well, we are supposed to do a D&D. Actually, that's not dead, actually. We're supposed to do a D&D game. It's gone in different directions. So either I'm going to do it, or let's see. There's 3 people that want to do it now. It will either be me, or Oh my God, Ninja Express. Derek Charles might be doing a game for us. There's a couple other people that said they might want us to do a game. Like the guys over at It's Getting Dicey, and the guys over at I'm forgetting names.
Speaking of 10-year anniversary, that was a fun moment in our 10-year history.
Exactly. So it'll happen in this 10th year.
Yeah.
So Paul, tell the people where they can find you and all the good stuff as I show it off.
Yeah, episode 1 is available on most app stores for a couple bucks. And if you want to contribute to the education program, you can go to Fractured Atlas and make a tax-deductible donation. So any money that you put forward, you can deduct off next year's taxes, which is kind of cool. And it's totally legitimate. Fractured Atlas is a 501(c), and they've been sponsoring artists in the art community for over 50 years, trying to help them get their projects out the door. And it's really a great supportive organization. So pretty excited to be a part of it. It's really cool.
Yeah, folks, help him out. He's a one-man team working all by himself. He can afford to hire a couple people and move this project forward.
Yeah, if I can make $1,000 as initial buy-in, they'll go ahead and help me sponsor for National Endowment for Humanities grant, which is even better. So it's cool stuff. Yeah, it'd be huge if I can do that. So I got to make $1,000 through them first, and then they'll take me seriously. Right now, they're not taking me seriously at all. But that's
Isn't it how it always is? You know, they want you to show a little leg to see if they like it or not.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Jesse, go for it.
All right. Welcome to Art Punk Comics. We just redid the website last week, so that was fun. That's a new logo. That's a brand new logo.
I was going to say, this looks brand new because I put it up and I was like, wait a minute, this does not look familiar.
Right. So that's the symbol, then it splits apart and becomes the text logo you see there. Welcome to Art Punk Comics, our flagship title. I'm the creator and mangaka of Ashes of Eden. And Ashes of Eden is on Kickstarter right now with issue 2. We're in the late pledges phase. So we've hit full funding. We 200%ed, I think we 205%ed our funding goal.
Nice.
Which was fun. And it's still available up there now as a pre-order. We're not allowed to use the word pre-order on Kickstarter, but that's what it is at this point because it's funded, it's getting made. I'm literally
happening, folks. It's happening.
It's happening. So yeah, I'll be tabling a bunch the rest of the year, as much as I can. I'll be at PucciCon this coming weekend, the October 4th and October 5th, at table 56. You heard it here first. I haven't even made a post about it yet because I just learned the table number today. And then this Friday, October 3rd, I'll be doing our first exclusive reading of Ashes of Eden at Tom Henry Barbershop in Jersey City Heights. So if you're around the area, you're in Jersey City, come on out. Or if you're in any of the boroughs, just hop over the other side of the river. Come on over. The water's nice. We're going to be reading issue 1 of Ashes of Eden, signing it, getting it out to as many people as we can. And it's a fun event for the whole family. So like people's hairs are not getting cut during this time. We're closing all of that. We're gonna have snacks, food. It's gonna be a really chill, fun event. I'm gonna get my reading voice out. I haven't done that in a while. That'll be
fun.
Yeah. And then if you can't make it to any of the events the rest of the year, look us up on Kickstarter. There's still a chance to get issue 2 and issue 1 on there. And you can find it at, I think I threw a link up there for you, the tiny URL.
The website, yeah. I can put that into the comment section if my mouse. Oh, there it goes. I think I need a new mouse.
tinyurl.com/artpunkcomics, and that'll bring you right to the Kickstarter. that is still live. Their Kickstarter's trying out. They're sort of, I think they're beyond beta testing it now, but it wasn't beta test when I came in.
I see a lot more people using it, and I think it's a good thing because sometimes you missed it and you still want to support.
Right. And it's been a really cool opportunity for tabling and like meeting people in person and being like, hey, if you want issue 2, here's a QR code. We're still up on Kickstarter, even though the campaign's over. Now you have more confidence that this is coming to you now.
Yeah, which means you can actually buy it. You're pretty much buying it. You're just pre-ordering it so it can get to you as soon as it can.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's those are the plugs, and I love you guys. It's really good to see you. It's good hanging out.
Mr. Frank.
What's going on, everybody? Well, New York Comic Con is coming up. And,
yes, it is.
And it's, not a very large con. I don't know if have you guys heard of New York Comic Con?
Have you guys ever heard of this place?
I've never heard of New York Comic Con. Is it anything like San Diego Comic Con? Because I've heard a little bit about
New York. Everything is bigger. We got the big skyscrapers in New York.
Europe, it's like Wizard World.
Hey, we got aquariums. No, so San Diego.
Is there anything like this convention called C2E2? I've heard good things about it.
C2E2. Here we have our jokes here. Come check Frank DiStefano author. That's .com. I will be at New York Comic Con in Arthur Lane, I think it's called. Only one of 20 tables. 20 authors got in. Only 20 authors got in, which is crazy. I'm happy I'm gonna be there. Terrified but still happy. Come check me out, Frank DiStefano author.com. If you can't make it, check out my books. You can order them on my website, or if you're there, come down, say hello, buy all my books, understand why the master's who he is, and come check out anything to do with writing, ask me questions, and above all, take a picture, and you'll be leaving with 3 nice books about samurai warriors in feudal Japan, New York, Romania, Brazil. Where else do I go? Asia. I go all over.
Oh man, yeah. Go see Frank. Frank is everywhere. You'll catch him at one convention or another, especially at New York Comic Con in the Author Alley. Yes, folks, the Author Alley. He will be in New York Comic Con in the Author Alley. So go say hi.
That is cool that they have that now. That's really nice.
I think that's the only group that does that. So it's C2E2, New York Comic Con, Emerald City, Florida Super Show. I think those are the ones that in this country. There's like one in Germany or Manchester or something, obviously, international, but I think they do like 6 shows, and 4 of them are in the States, and I think the other 2 are just overseas. But yeah, see, it's the one group that actually focuses on that. Like Emerald City does it. The C2E2 does it. The Florida does, New York does it. Focusing on authors, because there are people. I mean, it also helps that they're running BookCon as well. So they kind of were I kind of have to say they were kind of way ahead of everybody else, and still are when it comes to that point. People go to cons to buy something that they don't see at Barnes and Nobles, or they don't see online. So kudos to them for giving other authors opportunities. That's what I have to say. So,
there you have it, folks. Go check him out.
And if I could just add, I didn't get a chance to say, but Jesse's Kickstarter, he's got a really cool lenticular cover, which blows my mind. And I really like the brand extension behind your head, Jesse. The senior new logo and then the light up is totally awesome.
Thank you. You inspired me to put it on, because there was one time I was wearing just my standard hat And then you saw the hat with the logo, and you were like, "Put that on!" And I was like, "Okay."
I'll do it, man.
No, but that was a good reminder. Like, let's put it out there. That's the whole point, right?
That's right.
So, folks, we've been showing things off here, and I've been looking for this the whole time because this is the moment where I figured out that I might have gone too far.
Oh, yeah, it's the best video ever.
Oh.
I knew what you're thinking. You're thinking you're gonna come here and you're gonna watch the Written Writ with your host, Applebite Rafael Tavares. But you know what I'm gonna tell you, Applebite, you are wrong. You're here to watch the Macho Man take over the show, the Written Writ, and kick Rafael Tavares out. Oh, you know why? Because I am the cream of the crop. Oh, yeah. And now here I am. I'm here, and all you know that everybody knows that when you rise to the top like the cream does, it is good because I am the cream of the crop. Oh, yeah. Oh. See, what we're doing here is you are going to write a story with, guess what? The cream of the crop! Yeah! You're gonna use that, and of course, your word, I don't care if it's 2 words, is...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah! Right! And of course, we all know that's a writer's prompt, which is a writer's tool. You're gonna use that tool. You're gonna write that story. I'm telling you what, because I'm Macho Man, I'm taking over the place. Oh, yeah! Because sometimes...
Yes, folks, you guys can go watch that on the Bitten Apple TV site.
That's my favorite thing I've ever seen.
Oh man, you did so well, Raphael.
Yo, you had me rolling. I was laughing so hard.
You just had to point more. It's like, Macho Man.
It gets worse, folks. Go watch it.
You had the
time, that was one of our best viewed videos.
You had that spot on too. You really did.
I love the fact that I'm wearing one of my daughter's hats.
That's awesome.
Oh my God, folks. Go check it out. It is a moment where I was like, I was doing my writing show and I was doing the whole thing, doing the videos. And I realized that maybe I had gone too far. Maybe I haven't
just far enough.
Sleep deprivation really sucks sometimes. It's okay.
Ralph had like what, 5 Red Bulls that night?
I don't know.
Did you really, Nathan? You had that many?
No, that was Ralph. This was like
Ralph.
months before I came in.
Oh yeah, that was way before Nathan. Oh my God. There we go. Comment section's there. Jordan, tell the people where they can find you.
Well, I have a link for that. Right.
I don't see your link.
No, I know. I'm getting it.
Oh, there it goes.
There we go.
And what can we expect on your channel?
Well, due to certain things in our country, I don't get as many things from out of the country anymore. But I don't want to say too much and get us canceled. So.
Sorry, they'll bring us back after a hiatus.
I can't get games out of the country anymore. So.
Oh my God. Yeah, things have gotten difficult, folks. But go check out Jordan's stuff. He does amazing work. And if you like all geek culture, all that geeky stuff, you will enjoy Jordan and his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Nathan's been busy working a real job, so.
Yep, he sure has.
Yeah, I'm a big boy.
But you should be able to see Nathan at New York Comic Con with the rest of us.
Now I think I remember what New York Comic Con is. It's that worst version of Anime NYC.
There you have it, folks. It's been a crazy Bitten Apple TV show of all the Bitten Apple TV regulars. So, be the cream of the crop. Go check all this stuff out. And on this show, when it ends, I press the button. And where it stops, nobody knows.